Hi, and welcome once again to Cooking Under Protest. It's been a while, but we're back. And today we're making a recipe that I've never actually made before. It's going to be a cold couscous salad. So step one is to make the couscous. So freaking obvious, right? Okay. So to make the couscous, I'm following the directions on the box. Now you could use whatever couscous you want. You can have just regular couscous for sale at places. I'm using this one because it's what I have. My favorite reason, because it's what I have. And yes, my burner's going to be smoking because I know something's going on apparently. Okay, so step one is the water, the olive oil, and the spice pack. I've got the water and the olive oil. Water and spice pack are in there. Did not yet put olive oil. There we go. That's in there. That has to boil, and then we put the couscous in and let it sit for 5 minutes. Alrighty, so meantime we get started on the other ingredients. Now, this is going to be a cold pasta salad, so you've got to make all the stuff, and then later on you have to put it all together and put it in the fridge so it can cool back in. Some of my stuff's already cool, some of my stuff's not. That should make it all interesting, right? You bet. Alrighty. One of our ingredients is some onion. You could also use scallion instead. Which might even be better depending on your personal taste. This onion has been cut quite awkwardly, not by me. This was, my husband was making hamburgers, so he's cut it. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the middle and try to cut pie slices. It's going to end up being too thick for most of this. Pull those out. Quite awkward. You've all seen me cut onion before, so you know that this is not the usual or preferred method. I think the saying that I've got going here is work with what you've got. That does sound like something I've said quite a bit. Oop, our water's boiling for our couscous. There's not a whole lot of water in there, so it does come up pretty quick. Okay. Couscous. Water. Check. Bring to a boil, stir in couscous, cover, remove from heat. Set my cover over here. That needs to stand for 5 minutes. It's currently 12:10, so 12:15. I'm sure I'll be working on this for longer than that. I really ideally would like this sliced really thin, this onion. I don't think I'm going to get my wish. Half of it because I don't want to get overly oniony. Okay, so the rest of this is just going to go back into the container that had the onion, and I will use it another day. No big deal. I'll go find another recipe. If you're a big fan of onion, that's probably plenty. Could use more. Scallions would be better, like I said, but using what we have. This was not well planned. In my attempt to go to the grocery store the other day, did not bode well. Okay. One of the ingredients that we're going to have is a can of black beans. So I need to open that and rinse them off, which is the sound you're going to be hearing in a second. Also, some people are fine with raw onion taste and would not actually need or want to cook these down. I'm not one of those people. This is not a well-organized thing, just so you know. My level of organization today is slim to none. How are y'all holding up during this quarantine? Because, it's trying me. Yeah. I'd say I'd hope everybody's doing better than me, but I know at least one of my viewers is not doing better than me currently and is dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. And to that viewer, my heart goes out to you and your family, and I hope the worst does not come to pass, especially at this ridiculous time. And I would 100% try to be there for you if a memorial service comes to pass. But we don't even know how those things are working, if they're happening. Everything's freaking... Yeah. Alright, these onions are good enough. I just wanted to make them softer. And those are fine. Okay. Gotta cut up some other stuff. Now I already have some red pepper that I cut up. I realized this is bad. These are single-use baggies and plastic and bad. And I know that. Thing is that if my husband takes other containers with him to work, they tend to disappear. So, I don't know. And I don't think it's somebody stealing containers. I think it's just that stuff gets thrown out or something. I don't know. Because he tried before, and things disappeared, and it was not good. And at one point, somebody actually ate his sandwich, which is really not good because he's diabetic and he needs to eat his lunch. And I mean, it turned out okay because somebody else bought him lunch. But, you know, I mean, the other person might not have eaten his sandwich. They might have just thrown it out because they saw a container and didn't know how long it was. I don't know. Too many problems. Not enough solutions. So, my apologies for the single-use plastic. I do not endorse it. It's just what I have to work with. And I know at home I didn't have to use that, but it was there. Yeah. Okay. The couscous is done. My black beans have been rinsed off. That can go in there. And now I have another bell pepper that I'm going to use. As always, I'm sure that there's some better way that people cut peppers. Maybe it involves ending up with more seeds. Or something. I don't know. I don't like to eat pepper seeds. I'm sure that they're perfectly fine and won't kill you. Doesn't mean I like them. I mean, I like the peppers have seeds and thus are, I don't know, sustainable, renewable, whatever the good word is for food that can reproduce itself. But it doesn't mean that I want to eat them. I have no idea why I'm cutting this into strips again, why I'm cutting it like this. I don't. It's hot outside. And even though I'm inside, it's warmer than usual, even with the AC cranked and the dehumidifier running non-stop. And it's making me just a little bit more insane than usual. I don't know if we're still using the word insane or if that's now offensive. I don't want to offend people. But I do not think that my mental state would qualify me as fully stable right now. So, it's possible that I'm using the word correctly. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. So dehumidifiers. I'm in Pennsylvania. It's humid. The humidity index, I think, was at like 94%. Which means the air is saturated with water. And I keep seeing ads that piss me off for those little box fan air conditioner cooler things that you have a wet sponge, and as it evaporates, it cools and humidifies the air. And that's great if you're in Arizona. This is not Arizona. Our air is already at 94% humidity. It's not a dry heat. It's a freaking wet heat. So those little things, number one, the sponge isn't going to evaporate because it's humid. And number two, adding more humidity when it's already, the air is almost completely saturated, it just makes it worse. This is basic science. Basic science, guys. But the things worked really well out west. So they keep trying to sell them in the east. And you see this wide discrepancy of people who are like, oh, it works great, I love it, blah, blah, blah. And then you see all these one-star reviews of, this thing's a piece of junk, it doesn't work at all, what the hell. But what it doesn't show you in those reviews is the people who think it works great live in the dry areas. And the people who are like, this is a piece of junk, live in the humid, wet areas. Because science, people. Science. I'm just saying. If Bill Nye is out there, man, and you want to do a show on that, I'd appreciate it. Just so that people would understand the basics. Mind you, we need science shows on way more than that. But yeah. Anyway. I'm a science person. Just want everybody to know that. We've got tomatoes here. Now, as we know in the past, videos have cut me off. So just in case that happens, got all this stuff in the bowl so far. Our couscous. I will fluff with a fork and add that to the bowl. These tomatoes are going to go into the bowl. I'm going to be adding an avocado. A little bit of lemon juice. Some pepper. Some salt. And some garlic powder. Now, I could have taken some garlic and tossed that in with the onions. In fact, that is exactly what I should have done. You know what? I didn't think of it because the recipe actually calls for garlic powder, because it doesn't think that I'm going to cook some onions, because it thinks that I'm just going to throw in some green onions or shallots. Not shallots. Anyway. It thinks that I was just going to do that, which I wouldn't have had to cook. Green onions I would not have bothered with. But I didn't do that. So, yeah, I definitely could have just thrown in some garlic and made that real quick. Didn't think of it. Sorry. Garlic powder will be fine. But actual garlic would have been an even tastier taste profile. And probably slightly healthier. I'm also going to be adding to this recipe some imitation crab meat. You don't have to do that. You could keep it like this and it would be vegetarian. You could add whatever kind of meat that's safe to eat. You know, obviously don't put raw chicken in there. But if you wanted to use some regular chicken, or even some canned chicken, or some tuna, some cooked pork chop, leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. All of these possibilities. All this and more could be yours. Okay. Didn't cut up the avocado yet. Or every time you think you've got something done. Okay. I love avocado. I love it's all nice and soft. Already. Just wants to come right out of its, I don't want to say shell, but skin, peel. It wants to come right out and go into the dish and be eaten. It's all happy to see me. And I'm happy to see it. Thank you, avocado, for existing. Today's gratitude is avocado. I am grateful for avocado. And I'm grateful for the avocado farmers who get me the avocados. I'm sure that's no easy task right now. Warm weather, the COVID, people getting grabbed in vans in the street by the government. Something that I would still call kidnapping. This is not my America, guys. This is... It's just not. This is... I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I think our country's freaking desperate for some help right now. And I don't think we can get it. So... It's not like some foreign country is going to bother to try to... I don't know if the word invade would work, but come rescue us because the person in charge of the big red button. Yeah. Not a whole lot of hope. Sorry. I'd like to keep it light and happy, but I don't think I've got light and happy in me right this minute. No, I really don't. I'd like to sign up for some light and happy, so if you see any, pictures of kittens are always welcome. Hit me up, Pen Minion, on Twitter. Yeah, the word pen, like a thing you write with, and Minion, like one of those little yellow guys from the Despicable Me movies. And the Minion movies. Imitation crab meat. Going in. Okay. This is one of the big packages, so I just used 2/3 of it. The rest will go in the fridge for consuming later. Alright, I know this is not a great view. Sorry, I need a fork. Okay. Let's puff some couscous. Yeah, couscous will like bind. This is why you fluff it. Let's take the fork. Fluff, fluff, fluff. You're just trying to separate it, get a little air in there. If you noticed a minute ago, it didn't even look like there was that much couscous in here. And now it's like taking up half the pot. Yeah, because that's what happens when you fluff it with the fork. It's kind of like the reverse of putting something in one of those vacuum bags. I forgot, there's corn. Hopefully the video doesn't cut off yet. I completely forgot that I have corn to add also. Woo! It's raining corn! Corn. My corn was frozen, so I had to defrost it slightly. Just slightly. And granted, I'm making something cold, so you're like, why didn't you just leave it frozen? I could have, but in my refrigerator, frozen things do not defrost in the refrigerator. I don't know why. It's just one of the quirks of living here. So it would have, it would have remained frozen, and then you'd be biting into frozen corn. So I just defrosted it just a little. I didn't cook it all the way. It's steaming bag and it would have taken like 5 minutes. I only put it in for 2. Just enough to defrost it so it's cold, but not frozen. Probably would have been smart to separate the lump crab meat. And by probably, I mean 1,000% definitely, positively. I'm not super worried about stirring it because I'm going to take it out of this bowl to serve it in bowls in like an hour and 15 minutes from now. Really, I just wanted to be able to do this. Like, subscribe, comment, leave me a little bit of loving. I could use it right about now. I hope y'all are doing well and staying safe. Bye!